Hello friends, and welcome back to ResearchSetGo. My name is Josephine, and in this video we will learn about functions and relations. Functions is one of the first and most fundamental topics in pre-calculus, so this video is a good introduction for pre-calculus beginners. Please enjoy the video. So the first thing that probably comes to mind is, what are functions? And a function is a relation between the dependent and independent variable. One value of x corresponds to only one value of y. So then what are dependent and independent variables? The independent variable is the cause. Its value is independent of other variables. The dependent variable is the effect. Its value depends on changes in the independent variable. So in this case, independent is x and dependent is y. I like to think of a machine for functions where one number goes in and a number comes out. That number is manipulated, and again, only one number can come out. Multiple numbers can go in, but one number must come out. So let's try a problem where I will write a list of numbers that correspond to other numbers, and you need to tell me whether it's a function or not. And you can pause the video to figure it out. No, this is not a function. And that's simply because when we look at the 2, it corresponds to 6, 7, and 8 at the same time. And we know that functions can only correspond to one output. This is actually a relation. So then what are relations? Relations are the opposite of functions. They can take one input and produce several outputs. So here I'm writing a list of numbers that correspond to other numbers, and you need to tell me whether it's a relation or not. You can pause the video again to figure it out. Yes, this is a relation because the 6 corresponds to 10 and 11, and we know that relations can correspond to multiple outputs. For this question, I'm writing a table with x's and y's, and you need to tell me if it's a function or a relation. The 1 corresponds to a 2, 2 corresponds to 4, and 3 corresponds to 6. We can see that there's one output per input, so this is a function. Let's do the same thing for this question. So you need to tell me whether it's a function or a relation. The 2 corresponds to -4 and +4. And we know that when we're dealing with relations, there could be multiple outputs per input. So this is a relation. The last thing we're going to discuss in this video is how to use the vertical line test, which can help you to determine if a plotted line represents a function or a relation. So an easy way to think of this is to use a ruler, where we essentially move our ruler across the page vertically, and wherever the ruler hits the plotted line more than once, we know it's a relation. If it touches only one time per x, so for every x value, there's only one spot it could be in terms of y, then that's a function. For example, in this one, we're dealing with a function. This one will also be a function because as we move our ruler from left to right, it only touches once for every x value. You also don't need a ruler to do this. You can just use your visualization skills and imagine a line going across. And same idea, if that line touches more than once per x value, that means that we're dealing with a relation. This one would be a function. Most linear plots are functions because there's one x for one y. When you're dealing with parabolas or hyperbolas or circles, it's most likely going to be a relation. So thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. In the next video, so functions part 2, we'll look at domain and range as well as function notation and substituting into functions. Thank you again for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.